I know I'm not the first one to say this, but Nintendo is a really weird company. I think that if they had done what they did today, just yesterday, the Mario Kart World Direct would have been more positive. You see, today they just announced when the actual pre order is going to be and how much the actual Switch 2 is going to cost. Now, luckily for us, right now, we don't have to worry about the price going up. Now, the price of many other things actually did go up, but the actual console still stays the same, at least for now. We'll get into that, but please hit that like and subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing and helps this channel grow. So, going back to this, I didn't actually plan on doing a video today because I assumed that most of this would have been covered yesterday during the direct. Because, you had a bunch of people tuning in specifically for Switch 2 stuff, and yet wait another day before you announce the pre-order day and the price. I don't know. I don't get it. I saw some people online saying like, well, maybe they weren't sure until today. Big companies don't move like that. They don't just turn on a dime and decide, oh, wait, you know what? Actually, we're not going to have to worry about a price increase, and we'll just start the pre-orders whenever we want. Yeah, no, that's not the way that works. It's a big coordinated machine. But luckily, like I said, we got the dates and everything, and yeah, it's pretty much when we thought it was going to be, plus or minus a day. The actual pre-order day is going to be April 24th, which does happen to fall in that time frame when we thought it was going to. We also got to see the prices and what it's going to be, and as I said before, yeah, the actual console is not going to raise. It's still $450. That bundle is $500, but there was a lot of information in that first paragraph that they talked about where the prices are not really set. They really left themselves a wiggle room for maybe even a year from now, with this actually costing more money. And as we actually look down, we could actually see the accessories rising in price, and things like the dock being $120. The Joy-Cons are gonna be basically $100, maybe like $95. Throw tax in there and yeah, you're looking at over $100 for a set of Joy-Cons. From what I could tell, most of the accessories have gone up at least $5. Like I said, the Joy-Cons, I think they were at 79 and now they're at 95. But honestly, believe it or not, from what we're kind of guessing, it looks like Nintendo's still actually losing quite a bit of money on this. Like, I know the sticker shock is awful, but most of the accessories and stuff are actually made in China. And so, as you know, with the tariff war going on, I think they're up to 7,000% or something, because, numbers don't mean anything apparently anymore. I'm kidding. It's like 142%. I don't. It's insane. And again, since Nintendo and video game consoles and makers don't have like an in with the government, they are not on the exempt list like Apple is and some of those products. So we're still subject to that. And I've talked about this before with the Nintendo Switch console, as well as, PlayStation, Xbox, all of those. When they have to actually start importing from Japan, and they might have to, that's when we're going to see a huge jump. But I think that's why so many of the companies have been sort of slow walking us to that point. We've seen Sony go up in price, which is insane. Like, since we are living in the darkest timeline, I have to say, I never thought I would buy a console like first day and it actually jumps up in price later. And that's exactly what happened with the PlayStation 5, and I do believe that's what's going to happen with the Nintendo Switch 2 as well, especially that bundle. Because another issue that we did notice is that the Switch 2 bundle with Mario Kart World is going to be very limited and apparently probably will not last until November. And once it's gone, it's gone. So anyone who's looking to wait a little while, you may not want to, which I think is, I don't know, it's a bad move, honestly. But just in general, I think it's a bad move. And one can speculate that maybe they're just trying to push more consoles out while they can, because, as we know, America has been flooded with consoles right now. That's why the prices aren't going up right now, and that's why I think that they're going to try to continue working with Vietnam and other neighboring countries. I've kind of wondered this too. Maybe some of you guys could help me with this. If Nintendo, let's just say Nintendo or Sony, whatever, if they have a manufacturing site or a warehouse in Vietnam or Japan or wherever it might be, why can't they just import it from China to like Vietnam and then send it to America? I know that wouldn't work, I'm guessing, because surely these companies would have thought of that. Instead of like losing millions, if not billions of dollars, they would have thought of something simple like that. I'm kind of curious of why that wouldn't work, but regardless, it doesn't matter. What does matter is that we are, I think, on a very limited time of being able to get some of these consoles at this limited price. I mean, if you're in America and you want a PS5, probably would want to get it now. Like, it seems horrible to say that, but the prices keep jumping. And even like I said, that little presser we got from Nintendo essentially was like, yeah, this is the price right now, but we don't know what's going to happen further. And I mean, obviously, this Terra 4 is just going to keep getting out of hand. We got some megalomaniacs doing a dick measuring contest, so it's just going to cost all of us. And that's just the way it's going to be. And I think as much as we try to work around the edges and try to use different manufacturing sites, there's just not enough of those manufacturing sites. There's not enough of those. I mean, Nintendo said back in like 2019 is when they started realizing with the Trump tariffs and stuff that it's just more stable to have a different manufacturing site like in Vietnam. But that's, what, 6 years ago? And they're still not like really up to capacity. Where if I read right, still a majority of their Switch 2s and consoles are made in Vietnam, but there is still a significant amount that are still manufactured in China, as well as like most of the accessories. And so there just hasn't been enough time to ramp up production in different areas yet. It takes time to build infrastructure and all that stuff. People like to act like it would only take like a year or two to make a building. And I think Nintendo has been expanding even just in their own headquarter area. There's like a building that they've been working on for God, like 4 or 5 years now, and that's not even for like manufacturing or anything. That's just for, I believe, like R&D and stuff. I don't know. I might be wrong on exactly what it's for, but I do know that they've had this whole site planned out for a while. Like this stuff takes time. And so this idea of us just, kind of working around the edges and, well, we can try to get as much to America before the tariffs, wait for a pause maybe and ship a whole bunch. It at some point it's gonna crumble. It's gonna fall down and we're gonna be up against it, especially because I think a number of people are gonna be trying to buy them as quick as they can. And I mean, not just the Switch 2, but also the PlayStation 5 and well, I think Xbox is fine. Nobody wants that thing. But I'm kidding, Xbox. But actually, like that's kind of the best route to be on right now. If you're a Xbox gamer, you're kind of sitting pretty well. You're like, I don't care. I got Game Pass. I got new games coming out. Like next week is gonna be a banger for Microsoft and Xbox fans. But I'm just saying we're in a place that, in America anyway, we haven't even seen the actual sticker shock of the tariffs yet, and that's still to come. Let alone with gaming and everything else. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a point where we are gonna start running low on the supply of consoles that are in America, and that price is gonna go up. And so, yeah, I mean that's just where we're at. So, good news, bad news. Good news, hey, we got the pre-order date. It's gonna stay the same price for right now, except for some of the accessories, which I still think Nintendo's taking a bath on them when you consider the tariff on some of that, and they've only raised most of the accessories like $5. Joy-Cons are expensive. I don't know how you get around it though. And that's the thing, like I would love to come out here and just like bash Nintendo for raising their prices, but from everything that I can figure out, they're losing prices. Even though they had to raise some of them, they're still like they're taking a bath on this stuff. So in some ways, I gotta kind of glaze them over, give them a little bit of their flowers for at least not completely killing us right now. But yeah, again, this is a limited thing, I think, and that's just something we got to be aware of. But here we are. Yay, celebration, I guess. I don't know. It's been so trying, I would say, with this. Usually so many of these launches and it's all celebration and fun and whatever. This one has been rough. I mean, and I know it's not all Nintendo's fault, and that's the thing. Like, majority of it isn't their fault. Like, I think that they priced the console at a good price. Yeah, the software, at least Mario Kart World, that's on them. But a lot of the other stuff, I think, is just, it's also a reminder. Everything is connected. As a wise man once said, you may not mess with politics, but politics will mess with you. And it's just, yeah, it's always a reminder every time we see the prices and everything and hear what possible is going to happen, what the futures look like, all that good stuff. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on all of this. And let me know what your thoughts are down below. Does this change when you might be purchasing the Switch 2? Are you excited about the pre-order date? Let me know anything and everything down below. You excited about purchasing $100 Joy-Cons? That's going to be awesome. Anyway, I love y'all. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.